I'm Amy, I'm a dancer, not a DJ, and this is my record collection. Today I want to talk about a track called Sũeno Latino, which is a track that was released in 1989 by the Italian house project of the same name. And it was originally released and published in 1989 by Expanded Music, which is an Italian label. The story behind this track is really, really fascinating. It contains a sample from the very, very famous album E2, E4 by Manuel Gotching, which I also have here. And E2, E4 was released in 1981. Manuel Gotching himself is credited with influencing a lot of the early development of the electronic music genre, particularly techno. I'm actually going to share the story of this record with you because it is written on the sleeve, which is dead handy. Sũeno Latino, the act, were trying to get this track released, and they approached the label Expanded Music to put this track out. And they weren't actually able to get this out right away because it had the aforementioned sample from E24 in the track. And it was crucially quite an important part of the track. A few days later, while the buzz was still growing, I received a phone call from an unknown colleague who was asking me to stop the Sũeno Latino release since it contained a non-authorised sample from E2, E4, a track by the German musician Manuel Gotche. I did not know anything about this sample, but the unknown colleague of mine was so authoritative in declaring that he owned the rights to the track that I thought this must be true. I asked him if we could agree on the sample clearance, but for him the only solution was to acquire the exclusive rights to our master recording. I rejected this and answered that I would rather delete the release and forget about the track itself than giving him exclusive rights. So anyway, he goes on to explain how he decided to fly to Germany and meet with Manuel Gotching himself, who, lo and behold, had no idea who this unknown colleague was, and of course proceeded to give him exclusive use to the sample, and ultimately the track was released. Funny enough, that unknown colleague actually ended up calling Manuel Gotching himself right after the meeting and requesting use of E2, E4 as well. So yeah, there was a bit of shady business going on in that story. And thankfully the winners, the real deserving winners, won out in the end. So yeah, amazing story, amazing record, and I really enjoy it, my dancers.